Thanks, Kay. Well, here in Kansas City, the big story of this week, as the Chiefs prepare for the Falcons, is going to be running back Le'Veon Bell. Chiefs obviously lost rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire to a high ankle sprain and a strained hip in last week's win over New Orleans, but they also brought Bell here for this reason, to be an insurance policy in case their star rookie went down. Now, so far, they really like what they've seen from Bell. Even though he only has 56 carries with the team, he's been patient, he's been smart, and Andy Reid, their head coach, said he's picked up this system pretty well. The Chiefs ask a lot of their running backs. They want them to be very versatile and understand they're not going to be the main option in this offense, which is Bell's okay with all of that. But you also know that they're getting a good runner, a good receiver, a guy who's good in pass protection, and he's pretty good in short yardage situations, which should help the Chiefs in the red zone with their run game. So losing Edwards-Helaire was not what the Chiefs wanted to see happen, but they also feel pretty good about their plan B. And now we'll send it back to you, Kay.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. It's time for a little believe it or not.
Ding. Christmas Eve. Let's go. Let's get hammered tonight.
What kind of mug you got there? What do you got? What do you got, Brent?
Oh, something I'm not supposed to show, but I got in Prague, if you have to know.
Oh, Praha. Love it. Okay. Believe it or not, let's start this off here. Falcons Chiefs will kick it off there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's health will be the biggest X factor for the Chiefs going forward, Triggs.
I believe it. You know, we love Le'Veon Bell as a character on our show, and he's had some really good years with Pittsburgh. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire was fantastic for the Chiefs this season. He might not have won you a fantasy title based on his rushing numbers, but 1,100 yards from scrimmage, 5 touchdowns. And speaking with the guys in Kansas City, the effect of having Edwards-Helaire and what he could do out of the passing game and the running game was an incredible, incredible advantage. And when they needed him most, in a rainy, gross, disgusting Monday afternoon, he went for 161 yards on the team that they might face in the AFC Championship game. I really think that the Chiefs need Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the playoff run. It's not a nice to have, it is a must have. And when I hear high ankle sprain, okay. When I hear hip, I get concerned, especially for the running back position. So these next 2 weeks, Le'Veon could be fine, it could be what it is. They're gonna get the bye if they win on Sunday. And then I'm thinking week 19, that divisional round, whoever it is coming into their building, I sure hope they have number 25 in their locker room and on the field. Because you know what? Damian Williams, he can't come back. He's already out for the entire season. And I think Le'Veon Bell, that's a big ask for him to carry the load the rest of the way.
With all due respect to Clyde Edwards-Helaire and what he provided this year, he was phenomenal, both in the passing game, the run game, and also pass protection. I mean, he pretty much did it all. So I don't want to be dismissive for what he brought to the field. He's not the biggest X factor. The biggest X factor is the ex-MVP. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like, let's be very clear. Patrick Mahomes went on a historical run over the last couple of years, and last season in particular, he did all of it without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde just got here, and Clyde made an impact. But the one guy that controls the narrative is this dude. So if Patrick Mahomes is healthy, if he got his mind right, and also, too, if he takes care of the ball, because this year he's been a little bit more reckless. He pulled some Steph Curry, Dame Lillard pulling up from half court, a little bit risky throws, if you will. And he's going to need to address that in the postseason, because you're not going to be able to throw 3 picks in the playoffs and still scrape away with the win. So I feel like the X factor is Patrick Mahomes, because he's touching the ball every game, but more importantly, it's Patrick Mahomes taking care of the ball.
Of course, it all starts with Mahomes. I just think the AFC playoffs are all hands on deck this year. These teams are going to be not just good, tough. Bills, Titans, Ravens, Browns, maybe Colts, who knows. All teams that hit and run. And listen, the Chiefs can win a couple playoff games without a good running game. Sure, they're good enough. Can they win the whole thing? I don't know. And I look at Le'Veon Bell, like, this is almost like he was born for it. And I think it's really interesting. I was listening to Jeffrey Chahida's report, where he was saying he's a good runner, a good receiver. He's pretty good in pass protection. I think that's totally accurate. He's good. Is he great? I don't know. We've seen solid from Le'Veon, especially last week. We have not yet seen special. We have not seen Michigan State Le'Veon. We have not seen Pittsburgh Le'Veon. If we do, look the hell out. But I just feel like it's biblical. The exit from Pittsburgh, the sitting the year out, the year with the Jets. This is it. Like, you are in the Chewbacca seat next to Patrick Mahomes flying this thing. Tyreek, Kelsey, they're all going to do their thing. But there's going to be a game, maybe it's in the Super Bowl, I don't know. Maybe it's the divisional round where they're like, we got to run, and we need that rookie, and he's gone. Le'Veon, you're a thoroughbred here, dude. We need you. I don't know if he's up to it yet. I really don't. I think he's, to use one of my favorite words, I think he is one of the most pivotal players in the entire AFC playoff run.
Nice, Kyle.
And it's time. If you are the Le'Veon Bell that you always thought you would and change the position, a wide receiver, running back, this is it, buddy. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Because if you don't have it, the Chiefs could get knocked off. The AFC playoffs are going to be a juggernaut.
Hey, you nailed that pivotal. I'm proud of you, kid. Quickly to Schrager. You heard everything Kyle said. I'm hearing everything. I feel like I'm usually the one that tries to somehow poke holes in the Chiefs to make them a little bit more human. But this one doesn't bother me. What bothers you more? Because I went back and I looked at their playoff run last year. The run game wasn't exactly clicking. Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher all up until the Super Bowl. Is it more what he means to that offense or more the level of play in the AFC like Kyle's saying? That's concerning.
I think it's a combination, Kay. Great question. I really do. I think the Titans, the Colts, the Browns, the Ravens are coming on. All these teams, they're not scared of the Chiefs anymore. They're power teams. They want to run on you. And at some point, the Chiefs are going to need that running game. And I saw that Edwards-Helaire performance against Buffalo in the rain. 161 rushing yards. That's a huge, huge deal. They put it on him and he was able to deliver. I'm not sure one of these other running backs, Le'Veon Bell included, are going to be able to do that if they need him.
I'm just happy the AFC is so interesting. It has been a long time since it's been this up in the air and competitive. No Patriots. I'm here for it. Okay, let's talk about another AFC powerhouse, or one that was a powerhouse, the Steelers. They can clinch the AFC North Division title with a win against the Colts or a Browns loss to the Jets, but it's 2020. We don't know how that's going to go. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, their play has not been awesome of late. Their quarterback, Big Ben, was asked about the criticism that he has faced and his team has faced during this now 3-game losing skid.
Shoot, I don't blame them. When you play like poo, you should get talked about like that. And so, I need to play better. So if I'm not giving them a reason to talk good, then I'm giving them a reason to talk bad. So that's all on me. I need to play better. I need to get more consistent with my play, and that's mentally and physically. And so I think when I play good football mentally and physically, then hopefully that'll trickle down to everyone else.
A little bit too much poop talk in the AFC North for me this season, but I'll go to you, Nate, on this one. Believe it or not, Big Ben is not the biggest reason the Steelers have struggled in recent weeks.
He said play like poo? Oh, man, that's bad football.
Yeah.
Well, how about you think about the times when it was like Winnie the Pooh and everything was sweet? And that was when the receivers were actually catching the ball. Now, I can be critical of wide receivers because I praise them all the time. And I'm not going to say that it's strictly on the wideouts. But, yeah, there's blame on Big Ben. There's blame on the wide receivers because there was a stretch in time where they were just struggling to catch the ball. I know you can say, well, there's plenty of plays in the game that can help change the game. Yeah, as a wide receiver, though, if we lose by 6, if we lose by 10, and I drop the ball in the first quarter, second quarter, the way my mind thinks is I could have changed the game then. So I am blaming myself. So I know that the wide receivers, they should shoulder some of the blame as well.
This is how you know Big Ben's a father now. He's using words like poo. And this is, welcome to my house. I distinguish between poo and poop for our children. It's disgusting, but like as a parent, there's different validation for each. However, both can be described to the Steelers offensive play right now, and I will have Roethlisberger be the biggest reason. You know what the biggest favor really in this come out in terms of hashtag narrative for Roethlisberger is the way his Steelers receivers are dropping passes. Because that put all the eyeballs there and not on the eyeballs in the fact that Ben Roethlisberger's, most of those passes are little dinks and dunks and here and here. Of course, not the one that we say as I pull it up. But yes, Roethlisberger is still the biggest reason. And I love whiny Roethlisberger. He gets into that mode. He's like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't have it anymore. Maybe I shouldn't play anymore. Blah, 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 blah. He gets that way, and I think we're almost there. If they lose 4 in a row, we'll have full whiny Roethlisberger. And he might be right.
You know, no team in the history of the NFL has gone 11-0 and lost 4 straight games. No one's ever done it. You don't go 11-0 and then lose 4 straight games to finish a season. It's never been done. And yet, if you could find me anybody in America who thinks that the Steelers are going to beat the Colts this weekend, I'd love to meet that person, which is exactly what I think the Steelers need to lean into now. So to me, this is identity. This is culture. This is all the things that the Steelers pride themselves on. That, to me, is what's been missing the most in this recent skid. I don't fear the Steelers. I don't feel like that fan base is fully behind whatever this team has become. And we mock the TikTok stuff and we laugh about that. The fact they're dealing with that and Juju is retracting that, and that's even an issue here as we head towards Christmas on December 24th, I think that's the biggest issue right now. The Steelers, they felt like a Steelers team the first 11 games. The last month, they don't resemble what Pittsburgh is all about.
Broken record alert for me. Big Ben leads the league in pass attempts. He won his Super Bowls based on balanced offenses. If they can't get their run